Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we are going to tackle a subject that is absolutely essential if you're serious about being a travel professional. We're talking about seller of travel laws. So, if you're ready to make that leap from just loving travel to actually building a career in it, you are in exactly the right place. Let's dive in.
So you live and breathe travel, right? You're the one everyone comes to for advice. You can plan an epic trip through Southeast Asia without even breaking a sweat. The dream, of course, is to turn that passion, that incredible skill, into your profession. But then, bam, you hit the legal stuff. All of a sudden, you're hearing these terms like SOT registration, trust accounts, surety bonds, and honestly, it can feel like someone just dumped a 5,000-piece puzzle on the table in front of you and then turned out the lights.
And that's really the heart of what we're digging into today. You've got the dream, that's the hook. But then there's this legal hurdle that can feel, well, kind of impossible to clear.
But here's the thing. You don't have to solve it in the dark. In this explainer, we are going to flip the lights on. We're going to lay out all those puzzle pieces for you and piece by piece show you exactly where everything goes.
Okay, so let's start at square one. You're going to hear this term a lot, seller of travel, or SOT. But what does that actually mean? What are we even talking about here?
Well, this definition from California's law gives us a huge clue. Notice how incredibly broad it is. If you sell, provide, arrange, or even just advertise travel services, yep, you're probably a seller of travel. This is designed to be a massive umbrella that covers pretty much everyone who helps people plan trips.
So where do these laws exist? Right now, we're looking at these 4 states: California, Florida, Hawaii, and Washington. But here's the single most important thing to understand, and this trips up so many people. It does not matter where your business is located. What matters is where your client is located. So you could be in Ohio, but if you sell a trip to someone living in Florida, guess what? You need to comply with Florida's law. For anyone running an online business, this is an absolute game changer.
Here is a quick break. If you want to master the digital marketing secrets to grow your travel agency business and get hundreds of leads, I've created a complete step-by-step guide, which you can download for free from the link in the description box. Now, let's continue.
To really get a handle on how these laws work, we're going to zoom in on California. It's got one of the most detailed laws out there, so if you can get your head around this one, the others will make a lot more sense.
Now, at first glance, the California law can look like this big, scary legal document. But you can pretty much boil it all down to these 3 main ideas, these 3 pillars. 1, you got to get registered with the state. 2, you have to prove that your client's money is safe. And 3, you need to be part of their consumer protection safety net. Let's break down those last 2, because they're the big ones.
Okay, pillar number 2. This is really the core of it all. The state needs to know that when a client hands you their hard-earned money for a dream vacation, that money isn't just going to disappear. So how do you prove it's safe?
You basically get 2 main choices here. On the one hand, you can set up a trust account. This means every single penny a client pays you goes directly into a special, federally insured bank account. You can't touch that money for anything except paying the airline, the hotel, or, giving the client a refund. On the other hand, you can get a bond. A bond is basically an insurance policy. It's a promise from a third party that if you can't pay your bills, they'll step in and cover the loss.
So that handles the money for trips that are in progress. But what if the whole agency just goes belly up? What happens then? That's where the 3rd pillar comes in.
It's this thing called the Travel Consumer Restitution Fund, or TCRF. The easiest way to think about it is like a giant shared insurance fund for every traveler in California. If a registered travel seller goes bankrupt or just fails to provide the trip that was paid for, this fund is there to help the consumer get their money back.
And we're not talking about a few bucks here. A single person who gets burned can recover up to $15,000 from this fund. That really shows you how seriously the state takes protecting its consumers from financial disaster.
Okay, so that's the law in a nutshell. A bit intense, right? But what does this actually mean for you, sitting there dreaming of starting your own travel business? How do you actually do all this?
Wow, this quote from a Reddit thread between travel agents just hits the nail on the head. Doing all of this on your own, getting registered in all the states, buying the bonds, it adds up. And that cost can be a massive hurdle when you're just starting out. So because of that, you've really got 2 main ways to go. You can go fully independent. That means you are the one responsible for everything, all the registrations, the bonds, the whole shebang. It gives you total control, but also total cost. The other option, which is super popular, is to join a host agency. You work as an independent contractor under a larger agency's umbrella, and you get to use their seller of travel numbers. This makes things way simpler and a lot cheaper to get started.
But let's be real. SOT registration is just one piece of the puzzle. To be a real pro, you need a full legal toolkit. Think of it like this. Your must-haves are non-negotiable. That's your SOT, a business structure like an LLC to protect your personal stuff, and industry credentials so you can actually book travel and get paid. Then you've got should-haves, like certifications that build trust. But then there's the crazy if you don't haves category. We're talking errors and omissions insurance that protects you if you make a mistake and solid client contracts. Seriously, do not even think about launching without those last two.
All right, as we start to land the plane here, I want to just zoom out for a second. It is so easy to look at all these rules and just see a bunch of annoying red tape, but there is a much bigger reason for all of it. This right here, this is the why. This quote comes straight from the law itself. The point isn't to make your life harder. The point is to create an industry that people can trust, to protect them from getting ripped off, and to make sure there are real standards in place.
And that's really the bottom line. Following these rules isn't just about avoiding a fine. It's a signal. It tells your clients that you're a serious professional. It tells them their money is safe with you. By being compliant, you're not just protecting your clients, you're protecting your own reputation, and you're helping to build a stronger, more trustworthy travel industry for everyone.
So I'll leave you with this one question to chew on, whether you're an aspiring agent or just someone who loves to travel. The next time a trip gets booked, ask this: is it just planned or is it actually protected? Knowing the answer to that is what separates the amateurs from the pros, and understanding these laws is your first real step to becoming one of them.